Hi students, I hope all are safe in this pandemic situation. Stay safe in your home, obey your parents, care your health. Today I am going to teach 9th standard biology, unit 1, cell, the unit of life. Second session. So already we learned lot of plant cell, animal cell, lot of topic. Today we are going to study cell organelles. Okay, already we learned some process as well as plant cell, animal cell pictures we saw already. Today we will study plant cell, animal cell consists a lot of organelles because what is cell? Cell is the structural, functional unit of living organism, and this cell either one celled or many celled. Every cell consists of a lot of organelle. So this organelles such as for here living organelles and non-living organelles. Okay, living organelles, the living parts are called the cell membrane. Non-living part is called the cell wall only in plant cell, because plant cell presence a cell wall presence only in plant cell, but animal cell is absence in cell wall, but the limiting layer or completely covered with the cell membrane. In the cytoplasm of plant cell, animal cell consists of lot of organelles. They are normally called living organelles are called endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, ribosome, lysosome, centrosome only in animal cell, plastids only in plant cell, and non-living parts are called granules, vacuoles, and fat droplets. They are called the non-living parts. Then in the nucleus we know controlling center located at the middle of in all living plant cell, animal cell, even our body cells also. Shape is vary in different organism. In this nucleus consists of nuclear membrane, nucleoli, chromatin fiber, and nucleoplasm. Normally come for here nucleic acid is called a nucleus. Then characters and functions of cell organelles. Here given for here one flow chart like a large table column and given for lot of organelles, living and non-living organelles. Number 1 is called the plasma membrane. We know already limiting layer of animal cell, second layer of all the plant cell. So plasma membrane also called the cell membrane. Main characters: outermost in animal cell, lies next to the cell wall in plant cell. So plant cell second layer, animal cell first layer, or only one limiting layer. Very thin, flexible, living membranes. Very important. Cell wall is non-living membrane, because we learned already non-living and living. So very thin layer, flexible and living membrane, possess fine pores, small hole presence in their cell membrane. Semi-permeable. What is semi-permeable? They are not allow, the membrane do not allow all the solutes inside and outside to inside, but it is select and allow inside. It's commonly called semi-permeable, differentially permeable. Semi means half. Then made up of lipoprotein. What is lipoprotein? Lipid and the protein. Lipid, protein, lipid is composed sandwich layer or bread and jam layer. So this layer is made up of outer lipid layer, then again presence in protein layer, then again presence layer. So that's come for here made up of a lipoprotein. Chief function: separate content of cell from its surrounding, regulated the entry of certain solutes and ions, maintain shape of the cell. So it's going to regulate entry of some content. Okay, regulate the entry of certain solutes and ions, maintain shape of the cell in animal cell. So it's come for cell wall, cell membrane. Number 2 is called the cell wall. It's an outermost wall, is only present in all the plant cell. Non-living rigid layer. That's why it is called a permeable layer. Okay, so come for here, living are called semi-permeable, but here it is a non-living. That's why it's called permeable, because they will allow all the solutes outside to inside, because uncontrollably, because non-living. So non-living rigid layers surrounding plasma membrane, mainly composed of cellulose. So here is made up of lipoprotein, but here is made up of cellulose, freely permeable. Chief function, gives rigidity and shape. So presence of cell wall presence of those plant cell will be definite shape, do not change the shape. So gives rigidity and shape of the plant cell, allows substance in solution to enter the leaves the cell without hindrance, and provide protection. So this also come for here protective in function. Then cytoplasm, we know for here cell inclusion, because inside the plant cell presence of cytoplasm, all the parts together inside the plasma membrane excluding nucleus is called, as I already explained to you, protoplasm and cytoplasm. Protoplasm means cytoplasm including nucleus is called as protoplasm. Cytoplasm means excluding or take it out of a nucleus, then a homogeneous mass liquid is called cytoplasm. So all the parts together inside the plasma membrane, excluding nucleus is called cytoplasm, contain a mixture of water, soluble inorganic, organic compounds, and various organelles. So cytoplasm, what are the inclusion? What are the content? Presence of an soluble inorganic and organic compound and various organelles. What are the organelles? Mitochondria, Golgi bodies, all that organelle presence inside distributed in a cytoplasm. Then function, different organelles contained in is perform different function, because different organelles perform different function. Example, mitochondria powerhouse, then lysosome, suicidal bag, providing energy. Likewise, then all metabolic activities occurs in it. So cytoplasm happening for your metabolism. What is metabolism? Some total of vital activities such as anabolism and catabolism, build up and breakup process happening for cytoplasm is all metabolic activities occurs in a seat of earlier steps of respiration. So production of an pyruvic acid. So during glycolysis, glycolytic pathway, the first phase happen for here in cytoplasm, because production of an glucose converted to pyruvic acid with the help of cytoplasm. So that's what a seat of earlier steps of respiration, aerobic respiration. The first cycle is called glycolysis, happening for cytoplasm. It's an anaerobic respiration. So production of an pyruvic acid and anaerobic. What is anaerobic? Absence of oxygen, anaerobic respiration. Then endoplasmic reticulum we know the picture. It is called a nucleus. Then interconnected with a network-like structure is called endoplasmic reticulum. Irregular network of tubular double membrane. It is continuous with the plasma membrane on the outside and the nuclear membrane on the inside. So outside plasma membrane, inside nuclear membrane, interconnected by network is called as endoplasmic reticulum. May be smooth or rough. Because smooth means without ribosome, rough means endoplasmic reticulum is connected with the help of some number of ribosome. Very good role for here protein synthesis. Function, supportive framework for the cell synthesis of and transport of an protein and fat. Because a rough endoplasmic reticulum, presence of a ribosome, good role for here synthesis of protein. Then mitochondria, we know for mitochondria different shape and various shape, but usually sausage like double walled inner wall thrown into the fold cristae, have their own DNA containing several sense genes, also contain their own ribosome. That's why it's called semi-autonomous organelle. major function, release of energy, production of energy, and the synthesis of respiratory enzymes. Then Golgi apparatus in animal cell and plant cell, presence of same Golgi apparatus is called dictosome. So, same organelles in plant cell and animal cell, they have different names are called. Plant cell, the apparatus is called dictosome. In animal cell, it is called Golgi apparatus. It's a stack of flattened membrane sac consists of tubules, vesicles, and vacuoles. Here, therefore, a tube-like, vesicle-like, as well as a vacuole-like structure because of an Golgi apparatus. Its main role or synthesis and secretion of enzyme and hormone. The prime duty of this Golgi apparatus in animal cell, dictosomes in plant cell, the major function is called synthesis and secretion of enzymes and hormone. Then second function, formation of an acrosome of a sperm. What is acrosome? We know for the sperm cells of a human male, presence of the tip region is called acrosome. So this acrosome very good role for here, penetrating ovarian wall, prime duty of acrosome. So this acrosome or sperm produced with the help of Golgi apparatus. Okay, it's very important organelle. Then ribosome, we know for here this is a rough-walled endoplasmic reticulum. Lot of the wall is composed lot of ribosome. So this small granules either scattered in the cytoplasm. One suppose presence in outside the cytoplasm, otherwise presence in rough-walled endoplasmic reticulum to attach to the outside of endoplasmic reticulum, and single-walled dense spherical bodies composed mainly of RNA. The prime duty are called protein synthesis. The lysosome is an eighth organelles. You know, for lysosomes, commonly called the suicidal bag. The main duty are called whenever our body face or animal plant cell face any other famine or scarcity of food, it will be catch neighboring organelle or any other dead metal presence of inside the plant cell, they will catch and produce energy. It's a membranous sac budded off from Golgi bodies, contain 40 different types of enzymes. Okay, because here is available lot of enzyme. With the help of this enzyme, catch neighboring organelles whenever our body face any famine or some situation, it will catch organelle or dead bodies of a dead organelle suppose available. It will catch and digest. The major function, intracellular digestion. What is intracellular? Inside the cell digestion. Okay, intra and inter. Inter means in between two cell. Intra means inside the cell happen for digestion. Destroy foreign substances. What is destroy? Or any other dead matter, bacteria, viruses, whatever, anything is available inside, unwanted things is available inside the cell, it will be catch and digest because destroy foreign substances. When cell is old or injured, they rapidly destroy organelle, hence are called suicidal bag. Okay. So our body face any other unconditioned situation or unexpected situation or any dead cell going to injure, it will be catch the organelle and destroy. Formation of bones by digesting cartilages, because very good role for formation of bones and digesting cartilage. Then ninth organelle is called a centrosome, animal cell only, but absence in plant cell. A region surrounding the centriole located near the nucleus. Then contain one or two centriole. Centrioles are surrounded by radiating microtubules to form a star as stored during cell division. During cell division, what is cell division? One cell, usually multiplication process happening for all living plants and animals. In our body cell, the process are called mitosis and meiosis. During that stage, cell going to divide. during cell division, centrosomes are a great role to formation of an aster. The function is going to be given. Initiate and regulate cell division, form spindle fiber with the help of aster, because during cell division important events are called formation of spindle fiber. If not form spindle fiber, cell do not going to divide. So cell whenever going to divide, the centrosomes or form an aster or a spindle fiber. Cell easy to divide, 1 into 2, 2 into 4, 4 into 8 into 16, then 32, 65. Likewise, the consequence divisions happen for here with the help of aster formation through by centrosome. Then plastates. Plastates usually present only in plant cell, because greenery, the green part of all the plants presents on plastates. Okay. The plastates are a major role for here photosynthesis. The plastates are given three types are called chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Okay, three type. They are going to give chromoplast, chloroplast and leucoplast. And the chloroplasts are usually chloroplasts usually green colored pigmented plants. In all the plants greenery because of chloroplast, chlorophyll pigments. Chromoplast except green or other color. Example for fruits, flower, a different color will be developed because of a chromoplast. The leucoplast means colorless plastates. Very, very important. Colored plastates are called chromoplast. Only green colored part is called chloroplast. Leucoplast are colorless plants where it is available in all anatomy of plant stem and root is available leucoplast, because they are very good role for store starch. Now we'll come for our topic characters. Several kinds, most common ones are chloroplast containing the green pigment chlorophyll. So chloroplast is made of chlorophyll pigments. So this pigments usually produces green color. Double membrane proteinaceous matrix contain DNA. So it's a double membrane. This is double walled, because chloroplast, we know different shape of chloroplast. The chloroplast are double membrane bound organelle. Okay, membrane, double membrane, outer membrane, inner membrane. Then proteinaceous matrix presence inside. Then containing DNA. Disc-like structure called thylakoids contain chlorophyll. So each and every chloroplast presence of an piles of coin are called a granum. Granum consists of a thylakoid. So thylakoid is an actual organs of photosynthesis. Now will function. Chromoplast impart color of flower and fruits. Example xanthophyll, yellow color, carotene orange and red color. Okay. Carotene pigmented, those plant parts or organs or red, orange or red color. Xanthophyll yellow, example for citrus fruit, then lemon, orange, normally yellow color because of xanthophyll pigments. Then chloroplast green traps solar energy for photosynthesis. We know for synthesis of food through by photosynthesis. Leucoplast store starch because presence in all the anatomy of plant stems and root. Inside the tissue, presence of an colorless plastids are called leucoplast. Anthocyanin pigments is dissolved in cell sap and responsible for blue-violet color in plants. Then nucleus is an important major organelles of in all the plants and living organism. Is an controlling center. Largest cell organelle, mostly spherical and dense, nuclear membrane with pores to allow substance to enter the leaves. Contain network of thread-like structure called chromatin fiber which contain DNA. This comes for nucleus. Is a major part, important, largest organelles of all living plants and animal, even human being also. Then function regulates cell function. It removed the cell dies. Contain chromosomes bearer of genes that control hereditary characters, because the chromosome consists of a nucleic acid, and this nucleic acid whenever contracted, shorter, thicker, thread-like structure is called chromosomes. Okay, so this chromosome carrier of gene is made up of DNA. So this DNA, very good role for here, hereditary characters. What is hereditary? Transmission of characters from parents to offspring, because this chromosome presents in all the sperm cell in the form of a gene. Okay, genes present in the chromosome, and this chromosome transfer from parents to offspring, and development of parental characters. Then nucleolus, one or more round shaped nucleoli inside the nucleus. Inside the nucleus present small round part, thick part is called nucleolus. Main role are called produce ribosome, participate in protein synthesis by forming and storing RNA, and dictates ribosome to synthesis protein. Main role of a nucleolus. Then chromatin fiber, the network of resting stage of nucleus condensed into chromosome during cell division, made up of DNA threads. Chromatin fiber made up of DNA threads. Chromosome, normally called chromosomes, carry hereditary information or genes. Then non-living organelles are called vacuoles and granules. Vacuoles are usually a good role for here, store reserve, storage and turgidity. Then those plants present in water or aquatic plants, it acts as a buoyancy, float at the surface. So vacuoles clear space with the water or other substances in solution. Plant cells are large vacuoles, while the animal cells are very have fewer and smaller. Normally plant cell vacuoles are large, fewer and larger, but in animal cell presence or sometimes absent. Okay, if it is present, very small in size. Then covered by a covering called a tonoplast. Very important, tonoplast. What is tonoplast? That layer of vacuole is called a tonoplast. Tonoplast is around the entire vacuole. The major role are called storage of water and other substances, food pigments and waste product. Then gives turgidity to the cell. Cell will be turgid because of vacuole will be fullness and a firm condition. Then granule, a small particle, crystals or droplets inside that cytoplasm, disperse number of a small particle in the form of crystals or droplets present inside are called a granule. The main role are called commonly called a starch in plant cell, glycogen in animal cell, and fat containing granules serve as food for the cells. So usually starch, plant store reserve products called starch. In animal and our body store reserve products called glycogen, store in our liver and muscle cell, because a kind of a granule presence inside the plants and animals. Now we'll come for here prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Given for bacteria, prokaryotic cell is called bacteria. Eukaryotic cell is called animal cell and plant cell. It's an advanced cell, primitive cell. Okay, so prokaryotic cells are called bacteria and yeast cell, because the cell will be entire plant organism is made of only one cell. Prokaryotic means, pro means first, karyon means cell, first formed cell. Eukaryote means, u means late, or karyon means cell, later formed cell. So first formed cell are called prokaryotes, later formed cell is called eukaryotes. Differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So I already explained you prokaryote. Pro means first, karyon means cell, first formed cell, primitive organism. Then eukaryotes means, u means later, karyon means also later formed cell. Now we'll have some differences. Prokaryotic cell nucleus is not well defined. This is the bacterial nucleus, commonly called a nucleoid, because it's made up of either DNA or RNA. A single length of only deoxyribonuclease, DNA is made up of a nucleus, nucleoid. Small ribosome is present, no other cell organelle, because organelles are completely absent. Because prokaryotic one celled bacteria presence in outer membrane, then cytoplasm, then nuclear material, either DNA or RNA. Example, bacteria, blue green algae, cyanobacterium. Eukaryotic cell well defined nucleus. Cell will be a very well developed and defined nucleus, or very developed nucleus, or called defined nucleus with a nuclear membrane. Nucleus is around with the help of nuclear membrane. Several length of genetic material, chromosomes containing DNA, wound around certain proteins. Then larger ribosome, several organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, chloroplast, vacuoles, then Golgi apparatus, then chloroplast, lot of organelles, even nucleus presence of in all the eukaryotic cell. Example, euglena, amoeba, and plants and animal cell. So what are they? Euglena, one celled animal; amoeba, one celled animal; and all plants and animal cells comes under eukaryotic cell. Then protoplasm is an this lesson last topic. Protoplasm. So what is protoplasm? Cytoplasm including nucleus, a living liquid presence in all the plant cell, animal cells, even our body cell. Protoplasm is a living substance in an organism. Is a living substance, presence of because presence of protoplasm, cell will be alive. The protoplasm has been described as a translucent fluid. What is translucent? If you are allow some amount of light, the light will be fluorescence, or usually come back outside next side. So it is a colorless, grayish or brownish color. It's a translucent fluid, will be accepting light, as well as it is a colorless, grayish, brownish color. The common elements including carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, iron, and phosphorus. Presence of protoplasm is a common elements. Then some specific elements also presence, commonly presence of in all the protoplasm, such as carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. It's a framework. Okay, CHO is an carbohydrate, or usually a carbon, hydrogen, oxygen framework elements of in all the living organism. And again presence of nitrogen, sulfur, iron, and phosphorus. The specific compounds such as water, protein, carbohydrate, fat, and mineral salts were present. So common elements, specific elements present in protoplasm, and this specific elements, water, protein, carbohydrate, fats, and mineral salts are where present inside. That's why protoplasms are living liquid or living substances. Hope all are understood today topic, and read, study well, and go through well. Take notes and start to study. Thank you.